Hey guys, tonight we begin with something a little stranger. A time of old fears, full moons, and muddy footprints. We're slipping quietly into a lesser-known shadow of medieval life. Not kings or knights, but peasants, and how they whispered stories about things that howled in the dark. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. It's always fascinating to see who's joining us from around the world. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You wake up to the sound of barking. Not the friendly kind. A low, distant growl, wrapped in the voice of a dog that knows something you don't. It's still dark, and the fire has long since died. Your breath fogs in the air, mixing with the smell of damp hay, sour milk, and the faint iron scent you've learned not to think about. Your hut is quiet. Too quiet. Even the rats have gone still. Outside, the village is a hushed painting. No birds, no wind. Just a heavy silence pressing on the walls, like fog with hands. You nudge your brother, but he grunts and turns over. You're not sure if he's really asleep or just pretending. The dog keeps barking. Then another joins it, and another. You pull on your rough wool tunic, the same one you've worn for 3 winters. It itches. Everything itches. Your boots are wet. Your hands are cold. You step outside. The mud grabs your foot like a tired hand. The sky is thick with clouds. But there's light. Not the moon. Just a strange, silver shimmer crawling over the trees at the edge of the forest. Old Marta once said, "That's when you lock your doors and pray." But your door doesn't lock. It's just a plank wedged against another plank, held up by a rock and hope. You see Tomas, the blacksmith's son, standing in the square, barefoot, staring into the woods. His mouth hangs open like he forgot what words are. You don't call out. You just watch, because something is wrong with the way his shadow moves. Behind him, a figure appears. Tall, thin, wrong, not walking, gliding. It pauses, sniffs the air, and disappears again. You blink. It's gone. Tomas blinks too, then runs, not home, just away. You stand there for a moment longer, listening. The dogs have stopped barking. That's worse than when they started. You walk back inside. No one else is awake. Or maybe they are and just know better than to move. You lie down again and pretend to sleep. The air tastes like metal. And in your chest, something quiet begins to rattle. Not fear. Something older than that. Something that remembers claws. Morning comes slow, not with sunlight, but with a pale grayness that feels like regret. The village smells like old ash, wet straw, and onions that never had a chance. You sit up, your back already aching. The fire didn't relight itself. The pot is still cold. No one says anything. Your father chews a piece of hard bread like it insulted him. Your sister stares at the wall. Someone finally asks where Thomas went. No one answers. Outside, the ground is soft, softer than usual. You notice new tracks in the mud. Not boot prints, not hoof prints. Something deeper, wider, 4 points, like a dog's, but stretched and strange. You don't point them out. You just keep walking. Everyone else does the same. It's easier not to see things that can't be explained. You pass Marta's house. Her door is shut. The shutters are drawn. There's a bundle of herbs nailed above the frame. Wolfsbane, maybe. Or just weeds. She says are wolfsbane. She believes in signs, in stories, in things that hide behind trees. You once heard her whisper that silver rings keep the night away. You never had silver, just tin and superstition. The chickens are restless. They won't eat. One is missing, feathers scattered near the fence like someone tried to hide the struggle and gave up halfway. Your uncle says it was a fox. Loudly, twice. No one agrees, but everyone nods. It's better than what no one wants to name. At the well, the water smells strange, not foul, just sharp, like iron. You fill the bucket anyway. You're used to strange. Strange is part of life now. A shadow here, a bark there. Once, a low howl that rolled across the hills, like someone dragging something heavy through the dark. You hear hammering from the chapel. The priest is nailing something to the door. A drawing, a warning, a rough sketch of a creature with yellow eyes, long limbs, and too many teeth. Below it, just one word. Beware. No sermon, no prayer, just nails and silence. The village pretends not to notice. The butcher sharpens his knives. The baker keeps kneading. Life continues. That's the rule. Don't stop. Don't look. Don't ask. But you feel it. In the way people glance over shoulders. In the way no one walks alone after dusk. Something is out there, and it remembers your scent. That night, no one sings. Normally, someone hums by the fire, a tune about harvest or ale or saints who smile in paintings. But tonight, the only sound is the wind pushing through broken shutters and the pop of damp wood trying to burn. You sit close to the fire, closer than usual. The warmth barely reaches your knees. Your mother holds a rosary, but her lips don't move. She stares into the flames like she's looking for a different life. Your brother sharpens a stick. It's not a weapon, just something to do. The silence stretches. Then the dogs bark again. Not just one, all of them, together. This time, no one moves. Everyone hears it. A howl, long, deep, carried on the wind like it had somewhere to be. You hold your breath without meaning to. The fire crackles once, loud and sharp, and everyone jumps. Even your father curses. The dogs go quiet. You sleep in shifts. No one says that's the plan. It just happens. Your father sits by the door with an axe that's mostly handle. You lie on the floor near the hearth, eyes half shut. In the dark, the world becomes smaller. You listen to the wind, the fire, the steady breath of your sister curled beside the ash pile. In the distance, something moves. Not footsteps, more like weight shifting. Branches bending. You don't look. You don't move. It passes. Maybe. You tell yourself it did. The rooster cries too early. Or maybe the night was just that long. When morning comes, the priest is gone. His door is open, the chapel cold, the warning sign torn from the wall. No blood, no tracks, just absence. His robe lies folded on the step. Inside, the candles are still lit. All of them. Wax spilled down the altar like it melted faster than it should have. The holy book lies open, the page blank. Someone calls it a sign. Someone else calls it a message. Everyone agrees not to speak of it. You find another print in the dirt behind the chapel, larger than before, deeper. The claw marks are clearer now. The edge of one print sliced into the soil like a blade. You cover it with your foot. It doesn't help. You feel it anyway. That cold pressure behind your ribs. The thing that reminds you this world has rules, and some of them growl. By midday, the rumors grow legs. Some say the priest ran. Others say he turned. A few whisper he was never real. Just something wearing robes to make people kneel. No one says these things loudly. Just close enough to be heard, and far enough to deny. You go to the fields, not to work, just to see them. The wheat moves in slow waves. The wind is soft but uneasy. You stand at the edge of the rows and listen. Nothing. Not even birds. You used to hear them. Now, just the creak of trees and the rustle of stalks brushing each other like they're nervous too. Old Marta is there. She's pulling weeds and mumbling. She draws signs in the dirt with a crooked stick. Circles, lines, something that might be runes. You ask what it means. She doesn't answer, just says not to eat meat until the moon turns thin again. You nod like you understand. The butcher's door is shut, a rare thing. He's usually loud, swinging blades, shouting at pigs. Today, nothing. Someone knocked. No answer. The windows are black. His chimney is cold. That night, the wind picks up. It howls through the cracks, like it's looking for a way in. Your house groans. The chickens don't cluck. Even the mice are quiet. You sit by the fire with your sister curled beside you. She asks if werewolves are real. You say no, but your voice cracks. Your father sharpens the axe again. It still looks like a stick with a rock tied to it. He doesn't speak, just grinds the blade. The sound is steady. The sparks are weak. You watch the edge catch light, just for a second, and then fade. You hear something outside. Slow steps. Heavy, like someone dragging something. You freeze. Everyone freezes. Your brother reaches for the poker. Your mother clutches her rosary so tight it creaks. The steps stop by the door. No knock, no growl, just silence. Then a single breath. Long, low, right behind the wall. You don't breathe. The fire doesn't crack. The air holds still like it's listening too. Then the steps move on. Slowly, back toward the woods. You wait. Minutes, maybe more. Then your father sets down the axe. In the morning, the butcher's door is still shut, but this time, the smell comes through the cracks. They open the butcher's door at dawn, not because they want to, but because the flies leave no choice. It's worse than anyone imagined. Not just blood. Something else. The kind of mess that suggests panic. Furniture overturned. Scratches on the walls. Deep ones. higher than a man could reach. The body is gone. No bones, no cloth, no boots. Just a streak of dark from the table to the door, and claw marks leading out. Some say he fought back. Others say he opened the door himself. There's no sign of struggle, just signs of something final. They burn the building by noon. No ceremony, just dry straw and silent faces. No one speaks during the fire. The smoke rolls thick and gray. A child coughs. A woman crosses herself. The rest just watch. One man mutters that the smell isn't all from the meat. Afterward, the mayor says nothing, just boards up his windows and tells everyone to stay inside after sunset, as if they weren't already doing that. That evening, the sun drips down slower than usual. You count the minutes. The shadows stretch longer. They reach into places they shouldn't. Your brother hangs garlic on the door. No one knows if that helps, but it's something to do with your hands. The fire won't light right. It hisses like it knows what's coming. The wood is dry, but it smokes instead of burns. You sit close anyway. Heat or no heat, it's better than sitting in the dark. Your sister whispers that she saw eyes. Out the window, low to the ground, yellow, watching. You don't look. You just nod. There's a scratching sound later, on the roof. Then silence. Then a thump. Not loud, just heavy. Your father grips the axe again. Your mother prays. Your brother holds a pan, the kind meant for stew. It shakes in his hand. The thump comes again, then nothing. In the morning, there's a paw print on the roof. 2 large, 4 toes, deep nails. The straw is torn, clumps scattered down the back wall. No blood. Just the weight of something that shouldn't be that high off the ground. You all stare at it. No one climbs up to look closer. Later, you hear that Marta left during the night. Her hut is empty. Her herbs gone. Just one message scratched into the dirt outside her door. They hunt in pairs. No one says the word, but everyone thinks it. Werewolf. It's in the glances, the hushed voices, the sudden way people step away from the woods. The village feels smaller, tighter, like the sky itself is pressing down. Clouds move fast now. Wind pulls at shutters, even when it shouldn't. The church remains empty. The candles are gone. The bell tower leans slightly more than before. Someone says the cross was turned upside down in the night. Someone else says, that's just how it fell. You don't check. You've stopped looking for answers in places that only echo. You go with your father to check snares. It's something normal, something people used to do without thinking. The traps are empty. One is broken, bent like someone, or something, stepped right through it. The meat used for bait is missing. Not eaten. Taken. No fur. No blood. Just absence. You walk back with your eyes on the tree line. Something watches from between the branches. You don't see it, but you feel it. That old weight again. That ancient pressure in your chest. The wind carries a sound. Not quite a growl. Not quite a whisper. Something between. Your father doesn't speak the whole way home. He just grips the axe tighter, his knuckles white, his pace faster than usual. That night, a fog rolls in, thick, low, It crawls between houses like it knows where it's going. You can't see across the path. The air tastes like wet iron and wood smoke. Dogs bark, then whimper, then nothing. You sleep fully clothed. The fire is high. Every shadow feels like it has teeth. Your brother doesn't sleep at all. He sits near the door, holding a rusted kitchen knife and chewing on dried roots like they'll keep him awake. In the distance, you hear a scream. Short, sharp, cut off. No one moves. The fog outside is thicker than ever. You press your face to the window. You see nothing, but you feel something move past. Not a gust, a shape. Big, slow, heavy. By morning, the fog is gone. But so is the baker. His door is open, his shop ransacked. Flour everywhere. A trail of paw prints leads through it. They stop near the counter. Then nothing. No blood, no clothes. Just one bite mark in the wood. Deep, splintered. Too wide for any jaw you know. Someone boards up the shop by noon. Someone else mutters a prayer. The rest go back to pretending it didn't happen. Pretending is safer than knowing. The village holds a meeting. Not in the chapel, not in the mayor's house. Just in the square, near the well. No one stands too close to the edge. The water hasn't looked right since the fog. A strange shimmer floats on the surface. No one drinks from it anymore. The mayor speaks first. His voice is rough, like he hasn't used it in days. He says the disappearances must stop. He says order must return. He says no one leaves the village. Then he walks away before questions start. A man with no answers pretending he has control. Then the whispers start. Who's next? Who's cursed? Who's seen changing shape under moonlight? A woman points at her neighbor. He growls too much in his sleep, she says. Another man accuses a shepherd boy of talking to himself near the woods. A child cries, and everyone turns to stare. By dusk, half the village has locked their doors from the inside. Not just latched, barred. Furniture stacked in front. Tools sharpened. Torches placed near windows. Some hold prayers, others hold pitchforks. Everyone holds fear like it's a second skin. You sit near the hearth again. The wood crackles louder than usual. Your father has begun carving wooden stakes. Not for vampires, someone says. Just in case. Your mother lays salt in the corners of the room. She doesn't explain. You don't ask. Your sister draws circles in the ash. Not perfect ones. Just enough to feel like a barrier. She hums a song that no one taught her, a tune that makes the air feel colder. You don't stop her. Outside, the village waits. That's all it can do now. Then the howling begins. It comes from the woods, then from the hills, then from the road that leads to nowhere, each call layered over the last. Some long, some broken, some that sound like voices trying not to be. Your brother mutters a curse. Your father doesn't move. Your mother closes her eyes. You grip the edge of your seat so tight your fingers go numb. The howling stops all at once. The fire sputters. The silence returns. But it's different now. Heavier. Like it's waiting for something. In the morning, the well is empty. No rope, no bucket, no water, just scratch marks all around the edge. and a trail leading away from it. The mayor is never seen again. Someone leaves a sign nailed to a post beside the square. It says only 2 words: close windows. The days feel shorter now, not just from the sun, but from the way time itself seems to bend around fear. You wake, work, and wait. Every noise is sharper. Every shadow has weight. The woods are no longer a place. They're a threat, a wall, a mouth that never closes. You walk past the square. The well is covered now, planks nailed tight, salt poured in a circle around it. No one goes near. A woman tried yesterday, just wanted to look. She's gone now too. Her husband says she slipped. No one corrects him. Marta returns. She appears at dawn, standing in the middle of the path like she never left. She holds a bundle of branches and a cloth bag that smells like burnt herbs and wet soil. She says nothing at first, just stares at the chapel. Then she walks inside and shuts the door behind her. People gather, not too close, just enough to say they saw her. She's different, not wounded, not scared, just quiet in a way that pulls at your spine. She speaks at dusk, not to the crowd, but to the village itself. They've tasted us now, she says. We can't undo that. Then she draws a line in the dirt with her toe and places stones along it. 13, all flat, all marked. She says to stay behind the line after dark. No matter what you hear, no matter who you think is calling. That night, you listen harder than ever. Something walks between the houses. Not fast, not slow, just steady. It drags something. A rope, a claw. You can't tell. At one point, it sniffs at the wall. You smell it through the cracks. Wet fur, old blood, and something like burnt feathers. Your father grips his axe. Your brother doesn't blink. Your mother hums the same 2 notes, over and over. Your sister hides under a blanket and doesn't make a sound. A knock comes at the door, soft, then harder. Then it stops. Something presses against the wall, a hand or a paw. You see the outline between the boards, long fingers or claws. It breathes once, deeply, then it's gone. You sit awake until the light returns. Then you step outside and see the stones are scattered, all 13, thrown across the path like a game someone played in the dark. Marta is gone again, her bag left behind. Inside, just a bone, still warm. The village doesn't speak of the stone line, or of Marta, or of the knock. Instead, they talk about the weather, about potatoes, about anything that still makes sense. But their eyes stay near the trees. Their hands stay near whatever can be held like a weapon. You go to the chapel, not for prayer, just to see. The door is cracked. Inside, it smells like wax and dirt. The pews are dusty. The altar is covered in ash. The air feels wrong, like the walls remember something and are trying to forget it. You see symbols drawn in soot, circles, arrows, lines that don't meet. Some are still fresh. Others look weeks old. Behind the altar, you find something wrapped in cloth. You don't unwrap it. You don't need to. The shape is enough. Long, sharp, still wet. You leave it there. Outside, a boy stands by the well. He stares at the boards. Doesn't touch them. Just watches. You ask what he's doing. He says he heard a voice. A soft one, like his mother's, but slower. He points at the well, then walks away. You don't look down that night. The cold comes early. The fire won't catch. The wood feels damp, but it was dry yesterday. Your father uses more kindling. Still nothing. The smoke rolls thick, but won't rise. It clings to the ceiling. It doesn't move. Your mother lights a candle. It flickers fast, then dies. You try another. Same thing. You sit in the dark, breathing shallow, listening. Then footsteps. Not outside. Above. Something walks on the roof. Back and forth. Then still. You hear nails scraping wood. Slow. Testing. Like it's deciding where to press. Then silence. You wait. Minutes pass. Then a thud. The sound of something landing in the yard. Your brother moves toward the door. Your father grabs his arm, shakes his head. Then the knock comes again. Not a fist. Not a paw. Just pressure. Like the door itself is being asked to open. You whisper to your sister not to move. She doesn't answer. You turn. The blanket is empty. The back window is open. You run outside, barefoot, through the frost. You don't call her name. You know better. You follow the prints. Small feet. No shoes. Leading toward the woods. Then gone. At the edge of the trees you find only one thing. A silver hair ribbon, still warm. You don't sleep. No one does. The house is too quiet, too empty. Your mother won't speak, just stares at the hearth like it might open and return something. Your father sits by the door, hands folded, face blank. Your brother sharpens the same knife over and over until the edge is gone and the blade is just metal dust on the floor. At dawn, you go to the edge of the woods. The ribbon still lies there, clean, untouched. Not even the wind has moved it. You leave it there. You don't want to know what happens if you pick it up. In the square, someone has nailed another sign. The wood is old. The ink is darker than it should be. It reads, "They wear your face." No one asks who wrote it. No one dares take it down. Later, a woman appears at the edge of the village, dirty, pale, barefoot. She says she is Marta, but her eyes are wrong. Too bright, too still. Her voice is calm, too calm. She speaks in short sentences, asks for food, for shelter, for fire. Your father says nothing. Your mother turns away. Your brother grips a shovel. You just stare. Something about her smile feels like teeth that forgot how to hide. She doesn't blink. Not once. She stays in the chapel, says the spirits are stronger there, says the walls are old, safe. She says your sister is nearby, happy, learning things. She says many things. Some of them you wish you hadn't heard. That night, a storm begins. No thunder, just rain. Heavy, relentless. It turns the paths to rivers. The roofs leak. The fire sputters. Outside, the world becomes a blur of shadows and water. You hear laughter. Not close, not far. High-pitched, familiar. You run outside. You don't think. Just run. Through mud, over roots, past fences, toward the sound. Then silence. You stop. You're alone. The trees press close. The rain soaks your clothes. You see something ahead. Not a person. A shape. Tall. Still. It doesn't move. It just watches. You step back. Slowly. It follows. Not fast. Not slow. Just enough. You turn and run. Faster than you ever have. Branches whip your arms. Mud pulls at your legs. But you don't stop. When you reach home, the door is locked. You pound on it. Shout. Beg. Your father opens it with the axe in his hand. Behind him, your mother stares. Your brother asks where you went. You tell them. But your sister's name feels heavy in your mouth, like it doesn't belong there anymore. The next day, the rain stops. But the world doesn't feel cleaner, just quieter. Like the sky used all its voice, and now nothing wants to speak. The village paths are covered in muck. Deep footprints fill every puddle. Some are human, some are not. You don't ask which belong to who. Marta, or whatever calls itself Marta, lights candles in the chapel. Dozens. They flicker strangely, as if the flames are listening. She hums old songs. Not church songs. Older ones. The kind that sound like they were made before people had names. You don't go inside. Instead, you walk to the baker's ruins. The boards have fallen in. The flour has washed away. What's left is a single print in the ash. Large, deep, it faces the square. Like something stood there, watching everyone walk past. You visit the ribbon again. It's still there, still clean. But this time, it's tied to a branch, a small one, bent low, as if pulled down by something heavy. You stare at it for a long time. You don't touch it. That night, no one speaks. The fire burns low. Your father sits with his back to the door. Your brother keeps a bucket of water near his feet. Your mother cuts onions, even though there's nothing to cook. Just the sound of the knife, soft and steady. You try to sleep, but something taps the window. Once, then again. You open your eyes. The room is still. The fire is just embers. The tapping continues. You rise slowly. The window is too dark to see through, but you hear it again. Tap, tap, scratch. You reach for a log and push it into the fire. The flame rises just enough. You move to the window. Slowly, carefully, outside. A face. Not pressed to the glass. Not clear. Just enough to see the eyes. They look like your sister's. You don't scream. You don't move. You just stand there. The face tilts slightly, then vanishes. You step back. The room is silent. Your father hasn't moved. Your mother keeps slicing. Your brother finally looks up. You tell them what you saw. Your father nods once. Then he says something he hasn't said in days. We don't answer windows anymore. In the morning, the window is clean. Too clean. The rain left streaks on everything else. But not here. Just smooth glass, and a single smudge shaped like a hand. Not a child's hand. Longer. Wider. as if something forgot how big it had become. You don't clean it. You hang a cloth over it and walk away. At the chapel, more candles burn. The light spills through the cracks in the wood, like the building is on fire from the inside. Marta doesn't come out anymore. But people go in, one by one. Some return pale. Some don't speak. A few just stare at the ground and walk home. Your father forbids it. Says nothing in that place brings anything back. Only draws things closer. You don't argue. The animals begin to change. First the chickens, then the goats. They won't go near the barn. One hen breaks its own neck trying to flee the fence. A goat bites its own leg until the bone shows. You see it. You try to stop it. It doesn't even look at you. That evening, the sky turns orange. Not sunset, not clouds, just color, thick and strange. It settles over the roofs like dust. The air smells like rust and wet hair. You sit by the door. The wind moves oddly. It doesn't blow. It pulls. You hear footsteps again. Not heavy this time. Lighter. Quicker. You peek out and see someone walking toward the woods. They look like your sister. The same size. The same limp. The same braid. But the braid is on the wrong side. You step back. Your brother sees it too. He grips the frame of the door so hard it creaks. Then your mother starts humming. The same two notes again. The tune your sister sang in the ash. She doesn't blink. She doesn't move. Just hums. You ask her to stop. She doesn't. The person outside disappears behind a tree. You wait. You don't go after them. The night is long. The moon doesn't show. The stars are gone. Only the sound of slow breathing and the occasional creak of something walking on the roof. Your father doesn't sleep. In the morning, the barn is open. The animals are gone. No blood, no fur, just hoof prints in the mud. And beside them, paw prints, 4 claws. Deep, long. They circle the barn, then trail off into the wheat field. At the edge of the fence, a ribbon hangs again, but this one is black. The black ribbon moves in the wind like it's waiting for something. No one touches it. No one walks near. You pass by on the far side of the path. Even the wind avoids that corner of the fence now. You ask Marta, if it's still Marta, what it means. She smiles without showing teeth and says, "It means the choosing has begun." Then she goes back to lighting her candles. One for each name, she whispers. You recognize some of them. That afternoon, a man in the village ties bells to his door, tiny ones, meant for goats. He says he wants to hear them coming. People laugh, not because it's funny, just because they're afraid. By evening, 3 more homes have bells. Your house stays quiet. The wheat fields sway without wind. Someone says they saw shapes moving between the rows. Tall shapes, walking in circles, watching. You go to look. You don't find anything, but you do see patterns in the stalks, bent in loops, spirals. Something was there. It left on purpose. Your brother says he'll stand guard tonight. He ties a rope from the front door to his wrist. You ask what good that will do. He says, maybe none, but still ties it. Later, the rope goes slack. You find the door open, just wide enough. A shoe sits on the step. Not your brother's. Too small, covered in ash. You shut the door. Tie the rope yourself. This time around your own ankle. The fire burns low. The wind hums. Your mother whispers a name in her sleep. It isn't anyone in the family. Then the bells ring. Not loud, not fast. Just one chime. Then another. Then silence. You don't move. You stare at the door. Something breathes on the other side. Slow, steady, like it knows you're there. Then the handle turns. Once, twice, but doesn't open. The breathing fades. You sit awake until morning. Outside, the bells are gone. Every one of them. Snapped from the doors. No footprints. No drag marks. Just silence. And by the well, another sign appears. Written in red. This one says, "Count your windows." You go home and count. There are 6. There used to be 5. You count again. 1 window in the front. 1 near the stove. 2 small ones in the loft. 1 above the bed. And now, 1 behind the shelves. You never noticed it before. The glass is old, dusty, but cold to the touch. Too cold. Your father doesn't remember building it. Your brother swears it wasn't there last week. Your mother won't look at it at all. You try covering it with cloth. The nails won't hold. The fabric slides off each time. So you leave it and walk away slowly, as if turning your back too fast might wake something up outside. The village looks the same, but feels different. The air is heavier. The clouds don't move. Smoke from chimneys rises only halfway, before curling back down like it changed its mind. The blacksmith's house is empty. The forge cold. The anvil split. Not cracked. Split. A perfect line down the middle. No tools. No fire. Just silence and 1 bent horseshoe hanging on the wall. Still warm. At the chapel, the candles are all burned down. Marta is gone again. In her place, a sack of dirt. It's tied with ribbon. Not black. Not silver. This one is red. No one touches it. Someone tries to leave the village. They take the north road. People watch from behind fences. He walks, steady. Doesn't look back, but after an hour, he returns. Covered in mud. Eyes hollow. He doesn't speak. His hands shake. His boots are missing. He lies down by the well and sleeps. He does not wake up. You help bury him. No coffin. No prayer. Just soil and rocks. No one says his name. The wind moves through the trees like it's listening. That night, you hear footsteps on the roof again. Then crawling. Then tapping on all 6 windows. Not knocking. Just gentle pressure. Like a reminder. You stay still. The rope tied to your ankle holds. The fire is low. Your brother doesn't come down from the loft. Your mother doesn't speak. At some point, the tapping stops. But when you open your eyes, the fire is out. And in the ash beside it, a handprint. Long, thin, clawed, but smaller than before. You stare at the handprint in the ash. It's fresh. The edges sharp. The fingers longer than yours. Too long. You don't touch it. Just cover it with cold soot and pretend it isn't there. In the morning, your father nails shut the new window. He hammers slow, careful, like he thinks the wall might scream. Your brother refuses to come down from the loft. He says he saw something through the slats. Something that looked like you, but wasn't. The village begins marking doors. Symbols scratched into wood with broken blades. Circles with eyes. Crosses with tails. No one explains what they mean, but everyone starts carving. A child goes missing, left home alone for 5 minutes, while the mother fetched water. The bucket is found at the well, still full. The rope soaked but not torn. The child's footprints go halfway back to the door, then stop. There's a doll in the mud, its head turned backward. No one picks it up. The chapel is sealed. Someone bricked the entrance during the night. The candles now burn outside, lined up along the windowsills. Each one flickers the same way, in rhythm, like breathing. Your mother hasn't spoken in 2 days. She walks in slow circles through the house, pausing at each window, counting under her breath. Always 6. Then again. Always 6. Your father places a bowl of water by the door, not for drinking, just to see if it moves. That night, it does. The surface ripples once, then stills. A few minutes later, the water is gone. No spill, no trail, just an empty bowl and a wet ring around the base. You check the rope at your ankle, still tight. Then you hear humming. Soft, familiar. It's the tune your sister used to sing. It comes from outside. You look through a crack in the wall. There's someone in the yard, barefoot, wearing her dress, but standing wrong. Shoulders too high, neck too long. The humming stops. The head turns slowly. You step back. She walks toward the door. Your father lifts the axe. Your brother whispers your name. Your mother keeps counting. 6, 6, 6. Then a knock. Soft, measured, not with a fist, not with claws. Just enough to remind you the door is still there. You don't answer. In the morning, the footprints are gone, but the humming continues. Now it comes from the attic. The attic was always quiet, just old boxes, broken tools, a blanket with moth holes, and dust that never moved. Now it hums, low, steady, tuneless. Not a voice, not quite. More like breath shaped into sound by something that remembers songs, but not the words. Your brother won't go up. Says he tried once. Says the ladder was longer than it used to be. Says the attic stretched somehow. Says he climbed for minutes and never reached the top. You don't ask questions. You block the hatch with a chair and pretend that helps. Outside, the fields rot. Overnight, crops wither. Leaves blacken. The wheat curls inward like it's hiding. The scarecrow falls down and doesn't get back up. You know that sounds wrong, but it feels true. The villagers gather near the well again. No one draws water. They just stand, waiting. The man with the red scarf says it's spreading. Says the black ribbon was only the start. Says the choosing isn't random. He points at you, then smiles. You go home. You don't tell your father. He stopped asking what happens outside. He sharpens tools no one uses, hangs them above the windows, He says if they see steel, they wait. Not forever. Just long enough. Your mother has stopped counting. She hums now too. A different tune. Slower. Like a lullaby for something buried. That night, you hear footsteps upstairs. Not heavy. Not soft. Just steady. Then the humming starts again. From the attic, you sit by the hearth. You watch the fire die. You listen. The hatch creaks. The chair moves slightly. No one touches it. You hold your breath. The air feels thick, warm, like something breathing beside your ear. Then the hatch goes still. You wait until morning. At first light, you climb the ladder. Slowly, one step at a time. The attic is smaller than it should be. No boxes, no tools, just straw and a ribbon, silver, tied neatly to a nail in the beam. You don't touch it. You climb back down. Tell no one. That afternoon, someone burns their own house, claims it was hollow inside, says the walls started whispering. No one stops them. Everyone watches. The fire burns high. The smoke rises crooked. You go home. You count the windows again. Still 6. But one of them is open now, and you don't remember opening it. You close the window slowly. The frame resists. The wood feels soft, like something breathed on it all night. You latch it, then push a stool against it. It doesn't make you feel safer, just slower to be taken. Your brother says the attic is quiet now, but his eyes won't meet yours. He asks if you touched the ribbon. You say no. He nods. Once. Like that was a test. At dusk, someone pounds on the door. Not a knock. A fist. Loud. Urgent. Your father raises the axe. Your mother doesn't move. The pounding stops. Then a voice. I need help. It's the blacksmith, or someone using his voice. He's been gone for 4 days. You all heard him scream 2 nights ago. Now he's back. Says he's cold. Says he's hungry. Says he doesn't remember the woods. Your brother steps forward. You grab his arm. He stops. You all wait. Then silence. You peek through the boards. Nothing there. No footprints. No shadow. Just fog crawling low across the yard. That night, you hear breathing again. Not by the window. From under the floor. Slow. Heavy, like something asleep. You sprinkle salt in the corners. It clumps, then melts into the wood. You add more. It does the same. You don't tell your parents. Your brother already knows. In the morning, there's a smell in the house, like old fur and wet leaves. The kind of smell that doesn't belong to anything you can name. You burn herbs. Your father says prayers. Your mother hangs garlic. Your brother draws a symbol in charcoal on the wall. You've never seen it before. It looks like a spiral, but wrong. Like it keeps turning even after you stop looking at it. Outside, the wind changes direction, blows from the woods, carries a sound. A howl, almost, but not quite. More like something imitating one. The villagers gather again. Fewer this time. They speak softer. One woman says her husband started growling in his sleep. Another says her daughter walks in circles at night and won't wake up. A third just points at the sky. It's noon. But the sun is gone. Not behind clouds. Just gone. You light candles. The flames burn blue. That evening, your father seals the front door, boards it up with nails and rope. "We don't use that door anymore," he says. You nod, but you know it's not the door they'll use. It's the windows. And you have 6. That night, the walls breathe. You feel it when you lean against them. The way the boards press back, slow and steady, like lungs, like something alive just beneath the wood. Your mother won't stop humming. Her voice is soft now, almost kind. But the melody is hollow. You ask what song it is. She doesn't answer, just tilts her head like she's listening to someone else. Your father places iron nails along each window, one by one. He speaks to them as he does it. Not prayers, just names, old names. Some you've heard, some you haven't. Your brother writes them down in ash along the floor. At midnight, the window above the bed cracks. Not from wind, not from cold. Just a thin line, top to bottom. A clean split, like glass remembering it once belonged to sand. You don't sleep. The floor creaks. The air shifts. Your candle dies without warning. Then the whispering starts. Not words, just sound, like lips moving behind cloth. It comes from outside, then from the attic, then from under the floor. It moves around the house like a draft with secrets. You place your hands over your ears. It doesn't help. At dawn, the whispering stops. Your mother has drawn something on the wall in soot. A shape, like an eye with teeth. She says, it keeps watchers away. You don't ask what watchers are. You step outside. The sky is pale and wrong. The trees lean, not from wind, just slightly bent, as if they're listening. The ground feels soft in places where it should be firm. At the well, another sign appears, this one carved into the wood with claws. It says, "Don't look up." You go home. You tell no one. Later, your brother asks if you've heard them call your name yet. You say no. He nods. Says you will. Says when it happens, you must not answer, must not speak, must not even breathe. You ask how he knows. He doesn't answer. That night, it begins again. Steps on the roof, hands on the walls, fingers on the glass. Then a voice. It says your name. Once, twice. Soft, familiar. It sounds like your sister. But you don't move. You remember. You don't breathe. You just close your eyes and wait. The whisper comes again. Closer. Then a second voice. This one sounds like you. You keep your eyes shut. The voice that sounds like you keep speaking. Not loud, not urgent, just calm, patient. Like it knows you'll listen eventually. Like it's already been inside your mouth before. It says things you never said, memories you never had, places you've never been. But the tone is right. The rhythm is right. Only the words are wrong. Your brother sits beside you. He doesn't speak, just grips the floor. His nails dig into the wood until they crack. The voice outside doesn't go away. It just waits. It knows waiting is its sharpest tool. Your father stands at the window with a knife, not to fight, just to see. He watches the shape behind the glass, a figure, still, smiling. It doesn't blink, doesn't move, but the fog around it swirls, like it's breathing for both of them. Then it's gone. The silence that follows is worse than the voice. In the morning, the frost doesn't melt. The sun doesn't rise. Light comes, but from nowhere, just a dull grayness that settles over everything like dust. You check the windows. Still 6. But one now has writing on the inside, backwards, as if it was written from outside with a finger made of ice. It says, "Let me back in." You don't tell anyone. The villagers are fewer now. Some houses are empty. Some are boarded up so tightly they look like tombs. A child stands in the road with eyes closed. She says she's counting how many of us are left, says the number keeps changing, says it's getting smaller. You avoid the well. Someone nailed shut the lid with bones. That night, your mother finally speaks again. She says, "It's almost done." You ask what is. She just smiles and ties a ribbon around your wrist. It's white. You try to take it off. It tightens. You cut it. It bleeds. Your brother tells you not to remove it again. Says the ribbons are marks now, not choices, not gifts. You ask what yours means. He says, "You'll find out." Then the voices return. This time, there are 3. One is your sister. One is you. The third sounds like your mother, only deeper. They don't call to you. They argue, quietly, patiently, as if deciding who gets to wear your skin next. You stop listening to the voices, not because they're gone, but because they've started to say things that feel true. Things only you should know. Regrets, secrets, thoughts you never spoke aloud. They speak them back to you with your own breath. You sleep less, or maybe not at all. Time blurs. You sit by the hearth even when there's no fire, just to feel the shape of the room, to count the windows, to remind yourself of the walls. 6 windows, but one blinks now. Once, slowly, then still. Your brother begins drawing again. Lines on the floor. Chalk circles filled with shapes you don't understand. He places salt in the corners, then replaces it with ashes, then replaces that with crushed bone. He doesn't say whose. Your father no longer sharpens his axe. He just sits with it, polishing the handle, whispering names you've never heard, names that feel older than the village, older than the woods. Your mother hums again. This time, the song makes the air cold. At dawn, a knock comes at the back wall. Not the door, just the wall. 2 taps. A pause, then 4. It doesn't repeat. You check outside. There are no tracks, but the soil is turned, like something rose and left. You don't tell your family. Later, you find a tooth under your pillow. Not yours. Too sharp. Too clean. It glows faintly in the dark. You throw it in the stove. It doesn't burn. You leave it there anyway. The wind shifts again. Now it carries laughter. Not loud, not cheerful. Just the sound of something remembering how people laugh. You walk past the chapel. The bricks are cracking. Candles burn inside again, but no one goes in. The air around it smells like wax and meat. The walls bleed something that looks like ink, or old blood, or both. The girl who counted people is gone. Her shoes sit neatly on the path. Inside them, salt, teeth, a note with no writing. That night, the white ribbon on your wrist turns gray. No one notices, except the window, the blinking one. It opens slowly, without sound, then closes again, but not before something climbs through the roof and settles into the attic. You hear it breathing above you, not loud, not fast, just steady, like it's waiting for you to stop pretending it isn't real. The attic doesn't creak anymore. It exhales. The beams flex like ribs. Dust falls without wind. And sometimes, the hatch opens by itself. Just a crack. Just enough to let the breath slip through. You don't mention it to your brother, but you catch him staring up often. Not afraid, just quiet, like he's listening for something. Your mother stops eating. She says she's full, but her plate is always untouched. Her fingers twitch when she hears the wind. Her shadow sometimes moves before she does. Your father carves small shapes into the doorframe. Teeth, eyes, a spiral that never closes. He says they confuse things, slow them down. He doesn't expect to stop anything anymore. Outside, frost clings to the trees. Even at noon, the animals have vanished. No crows, no dogs, no flies. Only silence, deep and patient. The kind that waits with teeth behind its lips. A new sign appears near the chapel. It reads, "The skins are tired." No one asks what it means. The ribbons around the village begin to change. Red turns black. Silver fades. White stains gray. People hide theirs beneath sleeves. Some wrap more around their necks, around ankles, around doors. No one explains. Everyone understands. That night, you find your reflection moving slower than you. It blinks after you do, tilts its head at the wrong time. You stop looking into glass after that. The attic opens again, only an inch. But now something whispers your name from inside. Not a voice. Not quite. Just the shape of a whisper curling down the ladder. Your brother sits beside you. He draws a mark on your arm in ash, a circle with a line through it. He says, "It won't keep you safe, but it might keep you remembered." You don't sleep. You watch the window that blinks. It stays shut. But the glass looks thinner now, like breath could pass through it. Then a knock on the wall. 2 taps. A pause. 4. Then a new sound from the attic. It scratches. Soft at first, then sharper, like claws testing wood. You place the chair beneath the hatch again. It shifts. The hatch moves anyway. Just a crack. You whisper to it. You say you remember. The scratching stops, but the breath stays. Morning arrives without light. Just a paler darkness. The frost on the windows is thicker now. Inside, not outside. You scrape it with a knife. The patterns resemble bones, ribs, spines, coiled things. The blinking window doesn't blink anymore. It just stares. Its glass reflects nothing now, Not you, not the room, only black. Your mother wraps a second ribbon around her wrist. It's green. No one else has green. You ask where it came from. She says, I earned it. Then she turns away. Your brother nails more charms above the doors. Bones, feathers, rusted keys. Anything that once opened or closed something. He ties them with hair. Not his. Not yours. You don't ask. The fireplace refuses to light. You stack wood. Douse it in oil. Use 2 flints. Nothing catches. You place your hand near the logs. They're cold. Not regular cold. Cold like deep water. Like something waiting under ice. Outside, the paths twist. What used to be straight now curls. Houses you could see from yours are gone. Or farther. Or wrong. People walk in circles without knowing it. Some enter their homes and come out somewhere else. At the well, the lid is gone. A rope hangs down, but doesn't sway. There's no wind, no sound. Only a voice rising from the depths. It whispers one word. Below. You walk away. A man tries to dig his way out of the village. His shovel breaks. Then his hands. Then he keeps going anyway. You watch him disappear into the earth. No one stops him. No one helps. Later, you pass his home. The door is open. Inside, every surface is covered in mirrors. Shattered. Bent. But no glass on the floor. Only teeth. That night, you wake to a sound near your bed. Breathing. Not like before. Closer. Wet. You look down. Something is under the blanket. Not moving. Just there. You pull it back slowly. Nothing. But the shape is still there. Imprinted in the straw. A body. Your size. Curled the same way you sleep. You don't speak. You cover it again and lie down beside it. The attic hatch stays open. No scratching now. Only soft footsteps. And a whisper in your voice. It says, almost. The next day, the village bell rings. No one rang it. It hasn't moved in weeks. Maybe longer. The rope was cut. The tower sealed. Still, it rings. Once. Then silence. Then again. Each chime is slower than the last, as if something climbs the rope with old, heavy hands. People come out of their homes. Just a few. Faces drawn. Eyes unsure. No one speaks. They stand in the square and listen. The bell stops. You don't know why, but everyone begins walking. Slowly, toward the chapel. The bricks that sealed it are gone. Not broken. Just gone. As if someone whispered them away. Candles burn inside. Not wax. Not flame. Just light. Floating. Moving on its own. Marta is there again, or something that remembers being her. She doesn't speak. Just stands beside a basin filled with ribbons. You're handed one. It's gray, like before. You tie it to your wrist again. Your mother receives a second green one. Your brother, nothing. Marta stares at him too long. Then, you all leave. No one says why you went, or what it meant. But that night, the attic stairs grow longer. You test them, step by step. The ladder used to creak after the 3rd rung. Now it creaks after the 7th, then the 10th. The hatch is still there, but farther. Your brother watches. He says, "If you go up, you might not come back the same." You ask if he did. He doesn't answer. The house breathes with you now. Inhale, exhale. The fire finally lights, but the smoke flows inward, into the chimney, into the walls, into the attic. You hear it rising. Outside, something walks on the roof. Not pacing, not hunting, just circling, counting windows. 6. Still 6. But now they flicker when you blink. Reflections move too slow or too fast. You stop watching. That night, you dream of the well. You're inside it, looking up. Light above, water below. You feel hands beneath you. Dozens. Holding you gently. Not pulling. Just waiting, the voice says. Soon. You wake with dirt under your nails. The attic is quiet, but the chair has moved again. Now it sits in the center of the room, and something sits on it, wrapped in your blanket, facing the blinking window, breathing. You don't approach the chair. You stand by the hearth and watch it. The blanket doesn't move, but the shape beneath it breathes. Not fast, not slow, just steady, like it belongs there, like it's always belonged there. Your brother draws another circle on the floor, this one with a cross through the center. He places a feather in each corner, not bird feathers, thicker. He won't say where they came from. Your father doesn't speak anymore. He sharpens a spoon every night, just a spoon. The edge is thin now, sharp enough to cut cloth or skin. Your mother sleeps with her eyes open. She whispers names in her sleep. Some you know, most you don't. Some are yours. You try to sleep, but the chair keeps breathing. By morning, the blanket is empty, still folded, still warm, but empty. No footprints, no sound, only a faint smell of earth and smoke. At the edge of the village, someone lights a fire, a tall one, wood and bone. No one stops them. No one asks why. They just watch. The flames don't rise. They twist sideways, reaching toward the chapel, toward the woods, toward your house. The sky flickers again. Not lightning, just a moment of stillness, like the world blinked. The river runs black for a day, then stops. The well hums. Your brother covers every mirror, even the ones you didn't know were there. Behind doors, under the floorboards, in the attic. One mirror remains uncovered, the one in your room. He tells you not to look into it. You do anyway. It shows your face, then your face older, then not your face at all, then nothing. Then it cracks. You cover it. That night, you find ribbons tied to your window handles. Dozens, all gray, all neat, all the same knot. You untie one. It tightens around your wrist by itself. You burn it. The smoke turns into the outline of a face. It opens its mouth, but no sound comes out. Then it vanishes. Your brother stands in the doorway. He says, "It's choosing you again." You say, "For what?" He says, "To carry it." You don't ask what it is. You already feel the weight in your spine. The attic stairs creak. The chair is back. So is the blanket, and this time, your shadow is missing. You search the walls for your shadow. Nothing. You hold a candle up. The flame flickers. Your hand glows. But no shadow follows. Not on the floor. Not on the wall. Not behind you. Your brother lights a second candle. Walks around you. Still nothing. He says, "It's not gone. Just borrowed." You ask by who. He says, "Not who. When." You don't press further. That evening, you find a mark on your back. A symbol, drawn in ash or something darker. You wipe it. It smears, then reappears an hour later. Sharper. The attic chair creaks when no one is near it. The blanket remains folded but heavier. You avoid the room. Your mother won't touch salt anymore. She says it stings her fingers. Her nails fall off, one by one. She doesn't react, just wraps them in cloth and buries them under the floorboards. Your father hums now, not the tune your mother sang. Something else. Lower, like the sound of stones grinding together. The river doesn't return. The sky doesn't move. Your clock ticks backward, and no one remembers what day it is. You try to leave the village. You follow the path past the well, past the burned fields, through the broken trees. After an hour, you arrive back at your door. You try again. Same result. The third time, you meet yourself halfway. Same clothes, same eyes, but no shadow. You both stare. Then the other you smiles and turns around. You go home without a word. That night, you wake to find all 6 windows open. No wind, no sound, just open. The blinking one is gone. Now it watches, not with eyes, with presence, like something just behind the glass. Your brother places crushed herbs beneath your bed, says it might confuse them, not stop them, just delay. You lie still. You feel something press against your back in the dark. Not a hand, not cold, just pressure, like someone breathing in reverse. You say nothing. You fall asleep. In the morning, the attic is empty. The chair is gone. But your shadow is back. Only now it moves before you do. You watch your shadow. It stretches before you move. Turns corners you haven't reached. Sometimes it waits ahead. Sometimes it flickers like candlelight, even when no flame is near. Your brother sees it too. He doesn't speak, just nods once, and tightens the charm on his wrist. Your mother sleeps on the floor now, beneath the windows. She whispers to them in her sleep. Names, mostly. Some are yours. Some are no one's. Your father stays outside longer each day. He walks the edge of the woods, dragging a length of chain behind him. He says it's to warn the trees, that they should remember what iron sounds like. The village is quiet, not empty, just watching. Houses lean closer to the roads. Doors face new directions. Some windows blink. Others weep. You pass them without looking in. The chapel is sealed again, this time with rope made from hair. Long, pale strands braided tight. The candles outside now float above the ground, still flickering, still humming. No one claims them. A man is found asleep in the field, curled like a child, breathing shallow. His eyes are open, His hands are gone. Just smooth skin where fingers should be. He smiles when you approach, says, "They're wearing me now." You walk away. The well is deeper. You drop a stone. It doesn't land. But you hear splashing hours later. That night, your shadow dances without you. You lie still in bed, and it moves across the wall. Slow at first, then frantic, then still. Then it turns to look at you. You don't sleep. Your brother draws another circle around your bed, this time in wine. It dries sticky and dark. He places a knife at your feet and says, "If it speaks, let it finish. If it laughs, leave." You ask, "Leave where?" He doesn't answer. Your mother now wears a red ribbon over her eyes. She says sight is borrowed. That light lies. That sound is safer. She walks by sound now. She moves well. The attic remains quiet, too quiet. You hear birds again, but they speak. Not words, not songs. Just sounds that shape themselves into thoughts you didn't know you had. You stay inside. You don't open the door. But the chair is back, at the center of the room, empty, waiting. You sit across from the chair, not close, just near enough to see it clearly. It doesn't move. It doesn't breathe. But the air around it hums. Not a sound, just a weight, like memory or dust that remembers how to fall. Your shadow sits in the chair for a while. You don't see it move there. You just look up and it's already seated, its hands folded, its head tilted. It watches you. No face, just outline. Then it fades, and the chair is empty again. Your brother hangs a bell above the doorway. It's not for warning. It's for counting. He says if you hear it once, ignore it. If twice, hide. If 3, you're already too late. Your father begins carving names into the floorboards. Not words, just scratches. Deep ones. His hands bleed. He doesn't stop. Your mother smiles too much. At nothing. She says the house is full again. Says the guests are polite. Says they like the food. There is no food. The cellar is empty. The fields are dust, but she still sets plates. Still hums. The blinking window is now covered in frost from within. It forms patterns of mouths. Some smiling, some open, some stitched shut. You avoid looking at it. Outside, someone walks the path all night. You hear footsteps, then dragging, then soft knocks on each wall. They never knock on the door. You wait in the dark, count the knocks. 2, pause. 4, pause. Then a new sound, like teeth clicking together. Once, twice, then silence. You whisper into the dark, "I'm not ready." The silence responds, "You were." The attic is louder now. Not voices, not breath, just the shifting of weight, like something pacing or growing. Your brother tells you not to look up anymore. He covers the ceiling with cloth, paints eyes on them, says it tricks watchers. You lie in bed. Your hands shake. You hold them still, then feel a second pair around yours. Not cold, not warm, just there. You don't scream. You don't move. The hands stay until morning. When you wake, the chair is gone again, and the symbol on your back has changed. It's open now. You don't ask what the open symbol means. You already know. You feel it in your bones when you walk, like joints no longer bending the way they used to, like steps that echo before your foot lands. Your brother traces the mark in silence. He doesn't speak, just presses his hand over it for a moment, then nods once and leaves the room. Your mother's eyes are gone now, not missing, just closed, always. She says there's more to see in the dark. She walks like she knows the house better now, talks to things you can't hear. Sometimes you see shapes move behind her, thin, tall, wrong. Your father has stopped speaking entirely. He stays near the hearth, sharpening stones with other stones. The sound is soft, but constant. The village paths have disappeared. Now only grass, thick, waving without wind. It parts for some people, swallows others. The chapel floats, not above the ground, just wrong in the space it takes, like it's there from a different direction. One boy walked in, never came out, but sometimes his voice passes through your window. He sings a lullaby you don't remember teaching him. The well is silent now, but something new has taken its place. A mound of soil, fresh, tidy. Nothing grows on it. No one asks. At night, your mirror is uncovered. You didn't touch it. You ask your brother. He shakes his head. Your reflection is slower now. It moves after you. It opens its mouth. You close yours. It smiles. You cover it again. Your shadow walks by itself now. Sometimes down the hall, sometimes into your room while you sleep. You wake to see it sitting at the foot of your bed, head tilted, hands folded. You blink, and it's gone. The chair doesn't return, but the mark on your back pulses. Not pain, just waiting. The attic hatch creaks open again, only slightly, enough to let breath fall out, enough to remind you something's still inside. You light a candle. The flame is blue. It flickers toward the attic. You blow it out and sit in silence, listening, waiting. You wake up before dawn, even though it's long gone. The room smells of wax and ashes. The window is fogged from the inside, but someone has drawn a spiral on the glass. It still spins slowly, even when you're not looking. My brother is sitting on the floor, drawing a circle with a triangle inside with charcoal. He says it's going to get closer today. You don't ask what exactly. The shadow no longer follows you. Now it walks ahead, checking the path. Mother puts a new plate on the table, though no one is eating. Father warms an empty bowl in his hands, as if it held the remnants of something important. There are no sounds in the village, no footsteps, no voices, only the groaning of the well, like breathing through teeth. The houses stand closer than before. There's only a step between them now, but the step doesn't lead where it needs to go. A girl with eyes the color of ash stands at the curb and says that tonight night will come early. She points to the sky. There's no sun or moon, just a steady gray silence. In the evening, you see people gathering in a circle by the scorched tree. No one speaks. Each one holds a stone in his hand. Yours has your name written on it, but in the wrong font. You throw it into the fire, and the flames become transparent. There's a silhouette inside. It's moving, like it's looking for a way out. Late at night, you hear the knocking again. 2. Pause. 4. You don't answer, but the walls tremble, as if waiting for permission to open the passage. Your brother places a whispering stone in your palms. He says, "If it begins to speak, listen, but do not answer." You hold the stone until morning, but the voice in it is too much like yours. The next morning, you find footprints in the ashes by the hearth. Small ones, but with claws. They lead to the stairs to the attic, which extend upward again. You count the steps. There are 17 now. You climb only the first one. Someone is already waiting there. You wake before the light. Though it hasn't come for days, the room smells like wax and ash. On the window, a spiral has been drawn into the fogged glass. It turns slowly even when you're not looking. Your brother sits on the floor, drawing a triangle inside a circle with charcoal. He says today everything will come closer. You don't ask what he means. Your shadow no longer follows. It leads. It walks ahead, testing the floorboards, pausing at doors, turning corners before you reach them. Your mother sets another plate at the table, though no one eats. Your father holds an empty bowl, as if warming something precious. Outside, the village makes no sound. No footsteps. No birds, only the groaning of the well, like breath through broken teeth. The houses are closer now, nearly touching. Only a single step lies between them, but it never takes you where you expect. A girl with ash-colored eyes stands by the path. She tells you night will come early. She points at the sky. It has no sun, no stars, just a flat, gray hush. In the evening, villagers gather near a burned tree. No one speaks. Each holds a stone. Yours has your name, but in someone else's hand. You throw it into the fire, and the flames go clear. Behind them, something moves. Slow. Searching. Later that night, the knocking returns. 2 knocks. Pause. 4 knocks. The walls tremble slightly, as if waiting for permission to open. Your brother gives you a whispering stone. He says, "If it speaks, listen, but don't reply." You hold it until morning, but the voice it carries is your own. It says things you never said, but still believe. At dawn, you find clawed footprints in the ash near the hearth. Small, precise, circling. They lead to the attic stairs. The ladder stretches farther than before. You count the steps. 17. You only climb 1. At the top, something waits. It doesn't move. It doesn't speak. But the space around it folds, like a book opening to a page written only for you. Your mark burns faintly. Your ribbon tightens on its own. You don't turn away. You wait, and the attic waits with you. Together, you listen to the sound of the house breathing in. The attic doesn't creak anymore. It pulses. You step down before the second rung, and the sound lingers above you like breath that hasn't left yet. Your brother doesn't ask what you saw. He only places a mirror beneath your bed and tells you not to look into it, no matter what reflection appears. Your mother places dried flowers at the door, Not for beauty, for scent. She says they hide you from things that move by smell. The petals crumble before nightfall. Your father sharpens the spoon again, but this time he hums while doing it, and the tune matches the sound the attic made when it first opened. The sky remains dull. The air has no wind, only pressure, like you're walking through breath. You step outside and feel watched, not from the woods, but from the soil beneath you. A patch of ground near the well beats slowly, like a sleeping heart. The villagers speak in threes now. 3 words, then silence. 3 steps, then stop. They say it keeps things guessing. They say the rhythm is a kind of lock. The well is covered again, but not by boards, by hands, hundreds of them, pressed flat against the stone, unmoving, pale as candles. You look away. The chapel has vanished. In its place, a tree grows sideways, roots clawing at the air, its trunk bent in a perfect spiral. You don't go near it. At home, your mirror starts humming under the bed. Not loud, just enough to make you aware of your heartbeat. The cloth on the ceiling falls during the night. You don't hear it drop, but you wake up staring into eyes that aren't yours. They blink once, then disappear. You don't tell anyone. Instead, you begin placing pebbles at your door, small and polished, each one with a line drawn in charcoal. You're not sure why. It just feels necessary. That night, the chair is back, not in the attic, in your room, facing the corner. The blanket is folded neatly on the seat. You feel cold, but the fire is burning. The shadow in the corner is thicker now. It doesn't move, but your shadow refuses to enter the room. It waits in the hallway. You sit beside the chair, nod on it, and listen. Somewhere in the walls, something begins to speak your name again, slower this time, as if trying to remember how to pronounce it from when it meant something else. You don't sleep. The voice in the wall stops saying your name and starts saying your thoughts. Not full sentences, just pieces, moments, half memories you never told anyone. You press your hands against the wood and feel a pulse beneath it. Not yours, not the house's. Something older. Your brother sets a bowl of soot beside your bed. He says it catches stray voices. By morning, the bowl is empty, but the soot is gone. Your mother starts walking in circles. 5 steps left, 5 steps right, over and over. She mutters about lines that shouldn't be crossed. When you ask what lines, she points to the cracks in the floor. They're longer now, deeper, some filled with water, some with teeth. Your father moves outside. He builds a circle of chairs around the house. None of them face inward. You count 17, all empty, all waiting. The villagers stop wearing ribbons, not because they forgot, because the ribbons started tightening at night, leaving marks, leaving bruises. Some wore too many. Some disappeared. Your ribbon turns white again, but you didn't change it. You find a second ribbon under your pillow, tied in a knot you don't know how to make. You don't touch it. The chair in your room disappears again, but the space it left behind is colder than before. Not freezing, just hollow, as if the air avoids that part of the room now. The attic hatch opens in daylight. That's new. You climb 2 steps before your shadow stops you. It holds the ladder gently. No force. Just a gesture. A warning. You stay below. That night, the moon returns. But it's wrong. Too close. Too sharp. You can see lines in it that move. Not craters, not shadows. Lines like veins. You don't sleep. You lie with your eyes open until morning forgets to arrive. You dream without closing your eyes. In the dream, the well is gone. In its place, a door, made of mirrors, covered in names. One of them is yours, written backward. You wake up speaking a word you've never heard. Your brother repeats it, says it means, begin again. You don't know what that means, but your hands are no longer your own in the morning. They move slower. They twitch when you lie. You stop talking. You sit in the chair that isn't there. And you wait. The house no longer creaks. It clicks. Short, sharp sounds and patterns you start to recognize, but forget as soon as you notice. Your brother draws them in chalk on the walls. He says they're warnings or greetings. He's not sure which. Your mother ties string between every window and door. She says if anything tries to pass, the string will remember. By morning, half the strings are gone, but no one heard them break. Your father stacks stones on the roof, flat ones, 12 high. He doesn't explain, but the birds stop landing after that. The mirror under your bed hums louder now. It rattles when you speak. Your voice sounds different in the room, like it echoes from somewhere deeper than the walls. The tree where the chapel once stood has grown taller, spiraling into the gray sky. Its roots now reach the edges of the village. People step over them carefully, pretending not to notice the throb beneath their feet. You see a man try to cut one. His knife snaps. Then his hand bends the wrong way. He screams without a sound. No one helps. No one looks. The children gather near the center of the village at dusk. They don't play. They arrange bones in shapes, circles, spirals, grids. You step closer and see they're not bones, just pieces of something shaped like memory. They scatter when you blink. The attic hatch is open all day now. No one mentions it. A wind moves through the house, but nothing outside stirs. Your shadow is taller than you, thinner. It stands beside you sometimes, not behind. You see it move when you don't. Your brother places salt on the thresholds. It melts into the wood. The door handles are warm in the morning, like someone held them through the night. You stop touching them. You stop using doors. The chair appears in different rooms now, always facing away. The blanket stays folded. You touch it once. It's wet. With what? You don't know. You don't check again. That night, you feel your mark burn again. It spreads across your shoulder. You try to wipe it. Your fingers pass through it. It whispers to you, not with words, with pressure, with permission. You say nothing, but you feel the attic waiting. You feel the house leaning toward you. The ground beneath the house shifts slightly each morning, just enough to make the furniture tilt. You place coins under the legs to keep balance. By evening, the coins are gone. Your brother no longer draws. he listens instead. He tilts his head toward the corners of the room, nods, writes nothing down. You ask what he hears. He says, "It's not a voice, it's a direction." Your mother stops cooking. There is nothing to prepare. Still, every morning she lays out bowls of water and whispers to them. The water never ripples, but sometimes it turns black by night. Your father nails shut every drawer. He says memories have started crawling out of them. You see him bury something behind the house. He says it's part of the floor that forgot how to be flat. You don't ask again. Outside, a man walks backward through the field. He wears a hat made of string. He hums your mother's lullaby. No one follows him, but his footprints smolder in the dirt. The tree in the village center now leans toward your home. Its roots curl like fingers. Your mark burns each time you look at it. You wear gloves, but it doesn't help. The gloves rot by morning. You stop covering it. At night, the house feels smaller, not cramped, folded, like it's closing around you. You try to open a window, but it opens to a different room, one you've never seen. Inside, a copy of your chair. Same blanket, same angle, same stain, but the window never opens the same way twice. You stop trying. The attic hatch lowers on its own. The ladder doesn't creak. It glows faintly, like moss. Your brother doesn't look at it anymore. He sleeps facing the wall, his hands folded in prayer, even when awake. You find a ribbon outside your door. It's black. You've never seen that color before. You don't touch it. It disappears by morning. Your reflection no longer mirrors you. It reacts. Slight delays, slight smiles, a twitch at the wrong moment. You avoid mirrors now. You don't speak unless necessary. You don't dream. But you remember things that didn't happen. The chair appears in the hallway. This time, it faces your door. The chair doesn't move, but you feel it listening. Each time you pass, the door feels heavier. Your hand shakes when you reach for the handle. You stop opening it. You start sleeping in the corner, near the salt line. Your brother adds small bones to it now. He says it strengthens the threshold. He won't say where the bones came from. Your mother hums to the walls. The melody has changed. It has no pattern, just rising and falling like breath under pressure. Your father no longer speaks, but every morning he places a smooth stone on the table. No two are alike. You collect them without asking. They feel important. The house grows quieter, not peaceful, just hollow. Sound dies quickly. Even your footsteps feel swallowed. The windows no longer show the outside. Sometimes they show a forest, sometimes a sky with no stars, sometimes nothing. The mirror hums beneath your bed, louder now. It rattles once every hour, even when untouched. Your brother stops sleeping. He watches the ceiling and counts backward from numbers you've never heard. The attic ladder glows brighter. You feel drawn to it, not by curiosity, by instruction. You dream of a door behind your ribs. Something knocks from inside. You wake up coughing soot. The ribbon on your wrist fades to gray again, then back to white. You stop checking. The tree near the village center now has faces in the bark. Some are familiar. Some blink. The children draw them on walls in charcoal. They don't smile. They just watch. The path through the village curves differently each day. You no longer know how far you are from anything. Your brother places 3 candles in a triangle around your bed. He says, "If one goes out, don't move." That night, all 3 go out at once. You stay frozen until the light returns. Nothing touches you, but something breathes near your ear. You don't speak of it. You find another black ribbon by the chair. This time it's tied in a loop. You step around it carefully. The chair shifts an inch closer to your door. You don't tell anyone. You listen to the walls until you hear your name pronounced backward. Then again, slower. Then again, closer. The house forgets its shape. Hallways lead to rooms you don't recognize. Stairs loop back into themselves. You open a door to the pantry and find your reflection inside, staring, waiting. It doesn't blink when you close the door. Your brother draws new symbols on the floors, sharp ones, lines with hooks that catch your gaze and hold it too long. He warns you not to step on them. You almost do. The air is thicker. Each breath feels like drinking water that doesn't want to be swallowed. Your mother speaks less now, but when she does, her words rhyme in languages you don't know. She laughs quietly afterward, as if something answered. Your father builds a box with no lid. He places it in the yard. Every morning, there's something new inside. Hair, a cracked tooth, a dry feather, a bent nail. He never reacts. You stop asking. The attic ladder grows. You count 20 steps now. At the top, something glows faintly behind the boards. You never climb, but each night you dream of being at the top, looking down into the house, watching yourself sleep. The dream never ends with you waking, only forgetting. You begin hearing a second heartbeat, not in your chest, in the walls, in the floor. It syncs with your footsteps, then shifts, faster, then slower, then gone. The chair moves closer again, this time into your room. It faces your bed. The blanket is gone. Only the bare wood remains. You place a candle beside it. It doesn't light. The wick hisses, then crumbles. Your brother brings a book you've never seen. No title, only pages of symbols that twitch slightly, if stared at too long. He leaves it open by the chair. You try not to look, but the pages turn themselves at night. You hear them even when you cover your ears. Your ribbon turns black again. It tightens once, then relaxes. Your reflection now watches you constantly, even in puddles, even in spoons. It frowns when you blink. Your shadow leans at a strange angle. It tilts, even when your body doesn't. You don't mention it. You start walking backwards through your room each night. Just once, just to see what follows. So far, nothing touches you. But the breath in the attic grows louder. The attic breathes now. Not just sound, but air. Warm, damp, timed like sleep. You stand under the hatch and feel it pass over your skin. It knows you. It waits. Your brother draws a new line of chalk, this one shaped like a question. He says, "It's not for protection. It's for negotiation." You don't ask with who. The book by the chair opens to a page filled with eyes, drawn in ink that shifts when touched. You try closing it, but the page won't stay shut. You stop trying. Your mother wraps her hands in cloth each morning. She says her fingers are beginning to forget they belong to her. She doesn't unwrap them, not even to eat. Your father sleeps outside now. He curls beneath the chair he once placed in the yard. His mouth moves when he dreams, but no sound comes. You hear the voices anyway. They speak in patterns, in loops, like riddles that never end. The tree by the village pulses faintly. Its branches twist toward each house, like slow arms reaching for something remembered. The villagers no longer walk, they drift. Quietly, lightly, as though touching the ground only out of habit. The stones your father brought begin to hum, low, soft. You press your ear to one and hear your own voice whispering things you've never said aloud. You don't listen long. The mirror under your bed disappears. Not broken, not moved. Simply not there. The floor is smooth, dry, cold. You sleep without dreams now, but you wake tired, each time a little more hollow. You forget how long you've been waiting. For what? You don't know. But the attic hatch lowers another inch. You count the ladder's steps again. 24. The wood feels warm when you touch it. Alive. Familiar. You hear a knock from below, but you're on the top floor. You don't answer. You hear a voice from the attic, but no one climbs. You don't speak. The chair moves again. It's at the foot of your bed. No blanket. No book. Just the shape of a seated figure. Invisible, but heavier than silence. Your brother draws a final symbol on your wall. A door, but not one that opens. One that watches. You stop marking the days. The sky no longer shifts. The light is gray, flat, endless. You eat less, not from hunger, from instinct. The food tastes older now, like something forgotten and returned. Your mother whispers over the water before she drinks. Your brother no longer sleeps. He sits with his back to the corner, his eyes half closed, whispering names you've never heard. Some sound familiar, but none are yours. The villagers stand in doorways during dusk. Just stand. No movement, no greeting. Their shadows stretch out toward the center of town. Never away. The tree is blooming now, though nothing lives on its branches. The blossoms are bone white. They fall upward. The path from your home leads nowhere. You've tried walking it. After 30 steps, it circles back, but your house is different when you return. Smaller, darker. The attic hatch is now fully open. The air that spills from it smells like wet stone and distant fire. You place candles along the hallway. They flicker without wind. Some go out and never light again. The chair no longer appears during the day, only at night, always facing away from you. The pages in the book by the chair are blank now, but if you glance sideways, you see figures drawn in soft gray. They move slowly, like they're waiting for you to notice. You stop glancing. The floor hums when you speak. Your name, if spoken aloud, echoes back wrong. A different tone, a different shape. Your ribbon is gone, not fallen, not cut. Simply gone. Your shadow is taller than your doorway. You catch it watching you when you sleep, leaning in the corners, folding against the ceiling. You don't confront it. You nod once. It nods back. The room is colder each night, but the attic breath is warm. You feel it in your dreams again. Yourself, walking up, step by step, towards something that doesn't move but waits. You feel the mark on your back shift. It no longer burns. It pulses. Slow, rhythmic, matching the heartbeat in the walls. The house doesn't speak, but it hears, and you've learned how to listen. You wake with the shape of the ladder in your palms, not splinters, imprints, as if you held it too tightly in a dream. The mark on your back has opened further. It forms a circle now, filled with lines that move slightly when you're still. You no longer flinch at the attic's breath. It feels like part of the house, part of you. Your brother finally speaks again. He says, "Tonight, it chooses." You don't ask what. He's already returned to silence. Your mother covers all the mirrors, even the ones inside drawers. She hums a tune without melody, a sound that feels circular, like it never began. Your father leaves at dusk and doesn't return. No one looks for him. The chair is gone. The room feels wider, but heavier, as if it remembers every moment it ever held. You step outside, and the sky is darker than ever. No stars, no moon, only a smooth, cold blackness, like water you can't swim in. The village is still. Doors closed, windows dark. The tree pulses faintly, its blossoms falling faster now, still rising upward, still vanishing before they leave sight. The path to the attic ladder is clear. You light a candle. It stays lit. The wax drips upward. You climb. One step, then another. The wood is warm beneath your hands. You count the rungs. 28. Your shadow doesn't follow. It waits at the base, curled like smoke, watching. You reach the top. The hatch is open. The room above breathes like an animal dreaming. Inside, it's not dark. It's dim, soft, like dusk sealed in amber. Shapes line the walls. Not furniture, not creatures, just impressions. Places something once waited. At the center is a second chair. It faces a mirror, but the glass is covered in cloth. You sit. The chair fits. Too well. The mark on your back stops pulsing. The house is silent. Then, from the cloth, a whisper. "Are you ready to remember?" You don't answer. You already are. The cloth lifts itself. The mirror shows not your reflection, but the village, as it once was. Bright, loud, living. Faces you've forgotten, names you never learned. You watch. You breathe. You stay seated. Below, the ladder fades. You do not leave the attic. The mirror keeps showing more. Not moments, but meanings. You see how the ribbons were once used to bind shadows, how salt was never for protection, but for invitation. The well was not cursed. It was hungry. The tree did not grow. It returned. The village never fell. It slept. And now it stirs. The chair no longer holds you. You rise when it asks, not with words, but with need. The air in the attic thickens as you stand. The floor is warm, beating in time with the mark on your back. It no longer burns. It breathes. The mirror clouds, shifts, and clears. It shows the others, all those who climbed before you. Some stayed, some vanished, some became the house. You hear the voice again, not from the mirror, but from inside your own breath. It asks nothing. It waits. You turn toward the hatch, but it's no longer below. The attic has sealed. You are not trapped. You are chosen. The shadows gather near the edges of the room, not as threats, but as witnesses. The floor curves gently beneath you, as if preparing for something to rise. You feel your name slide from your thoughts. You no longer need it. You close your eyes and see more clearly than ever. The house is alive. The village is awake. You are neither lost nor alone. You are part. Your brother watches from the base of the attic, though you can no longer see him. He whispers the final line of the book, the one that never appeared until now. All things that wait become what they waited for. You feel your form shift, not into beast, not into ghost, but into memory. A shape passed forward, repeated in dreams, carved in doorways, drawn in chalk and salt. Below, the houses breathe again. Windows flicker, doors open. Footsteps return to the grass. The chair downstairs reappears. The ribbon re-wraps around a new wrist. A child wakes and walks toward the attic. You don't warn them. You don't stop them. You only watch and wait, as you always have, as you always will. Thanks for watching. Have a good night's sleep.